20 best games to play on your PS5 right now. Black Myth Wukong. This one actually lives up to the hype, and it's freaking wild how good it turned out. It's one of those rare games that looks amazing in trailers and then somehow still surprises you when you play it. The visuals are nuts. Easily one of the best looking games on PS5 right now. You've got these dense, moody forests, ancient temples lit by lanterns, massive snowy mountains. It all feels like a dark fantasy movie you actually get to play through. You play as the Destined One, a monkey warrior loosely based on Sun Wukong from Journey to the West, and the whole journey revolves around finding 6 relics tied to his senses. The story's got that mythological, mysterious tone. It doesn't spoon-feed everything, but it keeps pulling you in deeper with each boss, each weird creature, and all the strange places you explore. Combat here feels super tight, it's fast, responsive, and hits hard. There's some Soulsborne influence for sure. You gotta dodge, parry, learn enemy patterns, but it's not as punishing. You've also got a bunch of cool abilities, like turning into different creatures mid-fight or casting flashy spells. The staff feels heavy and sharp at the same time, and when you pull off a clean combo, it just feels good. Some boss fights are straight up epic too. Massive monsters with unique designs, weird gimmicks, and intense animations. This thing exploded on Steam and consoles when it launched. Millions of people jumped in, and for good reason. It's one of the most unique action RPGs we've had in years. It's not perfect, some people ran into bugs here and there, and a few cutscenes drag a bit, but overall this is a must play if you've got a PS5 and even a little love for action games or myth-heavy stories. The Astrobot. Astrobot is just pure fun. Like, this game is straight up joy-packed into a little robot dude. It dropped on PS5 in late 2024, and honestly, it's one of the most chill and creative games you can play right now. No stress, no complicated stuff, just a good time. You play as this tiny robot Astro, and you're going through all these different planets trying to rescue your crew, and every level is super different. One minute you're jumping through a beach with crazy waves, the next you're dodging lasers in space. The game keeps mixing things up so it never gets boring. The controls feel smooth, and the game just plays really well. It's made by Team Asobi, the same team that did Astro's Playroom, and they know how to make the PS5 feel cool. They use all the controller features, the triggers, the touchpad, the little speaker, so it feels like the controller's part of the game. It's kind of hard to explain until you try it, but it makes the game feel more alive. There's also a lot of charm. Astro's got these funny little animations, and there are robots dressed up like characters from other PlayStation games hiding all over the place. You'll see little nods to God of War, Uncharted, Bloodborne, and a ton of others. It's fun spotting them if you've played those games. If you've got a PS5 and you haven't tried Astrobot yet, you're missing out on one of the most fun little adventures out there. God of War Ragnarok. So yeah, God of War Ragnarok is one of those games that just hits hard no matter what kind of games you're into. If you played the 2018 one, this is the follow-up. God of War Ragnarok is one of those games that just sticks with you. Not because it's loud or flashy, but because everything it does with purpose. It's not trying to be cool, it just is. From the moment you start, it feels like a proper continuation of Kratos and Atreus' story, like you never really left. You're thrown right into it. Fimbulwinter's in full swing, the world feels colder and more dangerous, and that father-son dynamic has changed. Atreus is older now, he questions things more, tries to find his own path, and you can feel that tug-of-war between him and Kratos throughout the whole game. Kratos, man, you can tell he's tired, not weak, just emotionally worn out, and that adds a lot to the story. It's not just about smashing monsters anymore, it's about trying to be a better person, even when your whole life has been about violence. The combat is sharp as hell, that Leviathan axe still feels heavy and satisfying, and the Blades of Chaos, man, when you start swinging those again, it's like muscle memory kicks in. They've added new abilities, new skill trees, and more ways to fight, but it never feels overwhelming. It just feels like you're getting better alongside Kratos. Some fights are small and brutal, others are these massive cinematic boss fights that feel straight out of a movie, but they never drag. They're just intense in the right way. And the world, damn, it's gorgeous. Each realm feels totally different. You're not just moving through different backdrops, you're exploring places that feel like they actually exist. There are puzzles, side quests, little character moments tucked away in quiet corners. You're encouraged to slow down and look around. Not everything's about violence. Sometimes you're just sitting in a boat listening to a story and it's somehow more interesting than the last 10 cutscenes you saw in other games. What makes this game really hit is the way it balances the epic with the personal. Yeah, you've got gods and giants and world-ending threats, but at the core, it's about a dad and his kid trying to figure each other out. And it's done with so much care. It doesn't talk down to you, doesn't throw plot twists just to be clever. It trusts you to keep up, and when things finally come to a head, it hits hard. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the series, it doesn't really matter. You're getting one of the biggest, most ambitious games on PS5 right now. It's massive, not just in size, but in how much it tries to do, and somehow it actually pulls it off. The world opens up way more than it did in Remake. You're not stuck in a single city anymore. You're exploring full regions now. Forests, deserts, towns, all kinds of places with their own vibe. And the cool thing is, each spot feels like it matters. They're not just pretty for the sake of it. There are side quests, weird characters, mini games, hidden bosses. It never feels empty. You're always finding something new, even hours in. Combat's where things get really fun. It mixes real-time action with those classic RPG moves, and it just clicks. You've got a full party now too, and you can swap between characters mid-fight. It's not just Cloud slashing away. Everyone brings something different. You've got Tifa bouncing around with fast combos, Barrett shooting from a distance, Aerith casting spells. It's like a fighting puzzle, and you've got to figure out what works best against each enemy. It keeps you on your toes without being annoying. The story is, yeah, it gets weird, but actually in a good manner. If you played the original back in the day, this version messes with your expectations, but not in a bad way. It adds more detail, more time with the characters, more emotion. You get to actually hang out with the crew, learn about them, see them joke around and fight and argue. By the time stuff gets serious, you care about everyone, not just Cloud. Also, the graphics here looks amazing, not just in the cutscenes, but during gameplay too. The lighting, the animations, the level design, it all just feels polished and alive. And that soundtrack, still top tier. Classic tracks reworked in new ways, plus a bunch of new stuff that fits perfectly. And then there's all the random side stuff. Chocobo races, card games, combat simulators, optional bosses that absolutely wreck you if you're not ready. This game is packed. Like, it's one of those games where 30 hours in, you feel like you're still discovering how deep it goes. Rebirth doesn't feel like just the middle chapter of a trilogy. It's its own full, meaty game. It respects the original, sure, but it's also trying to do its own thing, and it's working. Whether you're here for the nostalgia or just want a badass RPG to get lost in, this one's worth every hour. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Big Jedi Survivor picks up right where Fallen Order left off, and man, it does pretty much everything better. Cal Kestis isn't just some Padawan anymore. He's older, stronger, way more confident, and you really feel that when you start playing. The combat's tighter, the world's bigger, and the story hits harder. Right out the gate, the game throws you into chaos. Things are rough in the galaxy, the Empire's tightening its grip, and Cal's trying to keep fighting without losing himself. It's a darker story, but it never feels forced. Cal's grown up, and the writing reflects that. There's this constant struggle between doing the right thing and just surviving, and the game leans into that tension without dragging it out too long. Now let's talk about the gameplay. This is where it really shines. They added new lightsaber stances, and they all feel legit. You can play fast and flashy with dual sabers, or go heavy and slow with a crossguard stance that feels like it was ripped straight from Kylo Ren. The movement's smoother too, wall running, double jumping, using the Force mid-combat. It all flows together better than before. You actually feel like a Jedi this time, not someone trying to be one. Oh, and yeah, the planets are way more open. They're not fully open world, but there's a ton to explore now. You've got hidden areas, puzzles, optional bosses that'll wreck you if you're not paying attention, and loads of little lore bits scattered around. It's the kind of game where you'll tell yourself just one more side path, and then suddenly it's 2 a.m. Some areas have actual verticality now too. You're climbing, gliding, and diving through these massive environments that just feel more alive. Also, BD1 is still the best little droid ever, and some returning faces from the first game get more time to shine. So overall, Jedi Survivor is a great experience. Alan Wake 2. This game's a trip. If you like weird stories, creepy settings, and that slow burn kind of suspense that just builds and builds, this one's gonna get under your skin in the best way. It's been over a decade since the first game, and this one doesn't just pick up where it left off. It goes deeper, darker, and way more intense. You're not just playing as Alan this time either. You switch between him and a new FBI agent, Saga Anderson, and both stories are super connected. It's like two different perspectives on the same messed up nightmare, and you're flipping between them trying to piece it all together. The vibe of this game is crazy. It's not just horror in the jump scare way, it's unsettling. Like everything feels just a little bit off. The forests, the small towns, the creepy buildings, everything's got this eerie, quiet tension to it. You're constantly wondering what's real and what's not, and the game does a really good job of messing with your head. Gameplay wise, it's slow and deliberate. It's not run and gun action. You gotta be careful, conserve ammo, shine your flashlight to weaken enemies, and really stay alert. The pacing's slower than most games, but that's part of what makes it so tense. It gives you time to soak in the atmosphere and dread what's around the next corner. The writing's pretty good too. If you played Control or the original Alan Wake, you'll catch a lot of little details and weird connections between everything. Remedy really built a whole weird shared universe, and Alan Wake 2 leans into that hard. It's full of mystery, strange symbols, cryptic notes, all that stuff that makes you want to pause and think for a second. It's not always easy to follow, but it's rewarding if you're into storytelling that actually makes you think. Graphics here are insane as well, like some parts straight up look like a horror movie. The lighting, shadows, and environmental detail really carry the whole experience. And the sound design is wild too. Ambient noises, whispering voices, sudden shifts in music. Though I will say